don't feel ready yet, like the jump into the game, jacking, learn using the Hello everybody, it's me, Game Jacker, and today we're going to be talking about the top best game jacking apps for Android devices. For all of you, of course, very exquisite and high-standing Android users that are looking to get something extra in your video games that you're playing on your mobile device. Maybe you want some monies, some gems, or whatever goodies or shinies you might find in any of these games. So let's get started with the best apps that you can download today for your Android device that will make it easier to get the cheaterinos running in your favorite games. So, of course, we are going to start, as any respectable person of notability would do, with the last place on the list. Number 16, of course, online resource generators. Because, of course, they are everywhere, and they are complete scams, and they will never work. So, the problem about these online generators that you will find out there on the Googles way too often is that they are all absolute fakes and scams. They will basically tell you, oh, I will give you unlimited everything, unlimited gems, unlimited, no matter if it's possible, and they will do this through an online website, which that's how cheating has never ever worked in the history of ever. So this is definitely the one tool you want to avoid like the absolute plague when it comes to cheating in your favorite video games. Of course, they are everywhere. If you Google, let's say Coin Master hack, you will find tons of these. Oh, it will give you unlimited spins, unlimited coins, unlimited money, mod money. Of course, the problem about that is that money cheats in online games are simply impossible because the money values for those games are stored on online servers which cannot legally be modified in any way. But don't let such a pesky thing as reality stand in the way of your dreams. If you want to try online generators, go right ahead. They will never ever work. You will get scammed the heck out of, and yeah. Anyways, so now let's go to the actual real tools. Of course, let's get our sponsor out of the way. Of course, it's HackerBot.net. This is the #1 app in my personal opinion because it allows you to find cheats for basically any game very easily. All you're gonna want to do is Google HackerBot or game hacks, go to HackerBot.net and go to our HackerBot app where you can actually find cheats for basically any game. For example, enter the name of your game here, PUBG Mobile 19.0, and you will find working cheats and mods from legitimate providers with a proven track record of delivering working and clean and undetected cheating software for their users, which is, of course, very hard to find these days because basically every second download you will find out there, or every second result you will find out there, will be some kind of generator scam. So that's, in my opinion, the best thing you can do. And of course, we also have at HackerBot.net our HackerBot app for Android as well. It's an APK. It allows you to use the tool much more easily. Highly recommended. Then, of course, on the second place, or on this list, the first place, it has to go to the venerable GameGuardian. It is the #1 memory editing app for Android by far. If you don't know what memory editing actually is, it's basically Cheat Engine. This is Cheat Engine. If you don't know Cheat Engine, well, you probably have never used a computer, but it allows you to scan game memory and then change values. So for example, you scan a process on your computer for the value of money that you have, let's say $500, then you spend some in game, you scan again for the new value, and then change the value to 999,000 billion 99,999. That's basically how it works. And no, I'm not speaking German. 99999. Vielleicht doch, ich weiß nicht. Anyways, so that's GameGuardian. It's basically Cheat Engine for the Android device, and it's highly recommended. It's absolutely clean. There's no ads, no anything to worry about with that one. So then, of course, I have talked about HackerBot APK, highly recommended. Again, get it at hackerbot.net, Google HackerBot or Game Hacks to get that one. Then bots, very, very extremely powerful these days, especially. Bots will automatically farm games for you, and as, let's be honest, most games on Android and mobile, especially these days, are, well, they're basically farming simulators. You're spending your stamina, you're farming for gacha pulls, and you're building up your city endlessly. You're spending somewhere around 2 or 3 hours a day doing grindy stuff. And, well, a bot or a robot is able to do that basically for you. So if you want to check out our tutorial on how to create one of those by yourself, go to the link in the description, go to create your own bot, and there you'll find an in-depth tutorial on how to do that. There are, of course, also already ready-made bots that you can simply download and use for the more popular of games, of course, and for that I recommend using HackerBot to find those. Of course, go to our Hack Finder and look for a bot for your game there to find the legitimate ones. Then, of course, emulators, as you've seen, I've already started up mine. They are exquisite little things, especially since they allow you to root your device simply at the push of a single button. All I have to do is enable my root here, and if you have a secondary account that's separate from your main account that you're using on your physical Android device, that will greatly improve your resistance to getting hacked or getting banned from games. I always recommend emulation tools and emulators for Android because it allows you to test cheats and cheating software and mods for Android in a safe setting where you're not risking anything. So your emulator is a virtual Android device, and then of course if you're using a secondary account, it's not even your actual main account. If you get banned or something, no harm done. You can simply uninstall the emulator, uninstall the app, restart and move on. So highly recommended. Also, a lot of emulators come with a little bit of cheaty software in there as well. Some of them, especially Nox, which I very highly recommend, come with certain scripting and bot functionality out of the box, or multi-box functionality. If you're not, by the way, familiar with all those shall we say terms of the trade, these difficult words that I'm using, go to our wiki at HackerBot, go to our wiki page, and you'll find our educational videos. They'll explain all the, more complicated words that I'm saying right here. For example, client side, server side. What's a server? What's a client? How do bots work? How does modding work? How do game bans get triggered and so on. Please browse our section. I'm doing a lot of videos there so you can get educated more easily. Anyways, so emulators, an extremely useful tool, extremely important to stay safe, especially when cheating on Android. Of course, mods, they're not really an app, but they are extremely good. You can find them at HackerBot, of course, through our Hack Finder. SB Game Hacker, it's one of those tools that has been pretty much made superfluous by GameGuardian, since GameGuardian is simply a better version, but it does work. So if for some reason you don't like GameGuardian, this does the same thing. It looks different. It's a little bit more simple. If you're getting confused by all the in-depth options that GameGuardian is offering you, then actually, well, I'm not ready to use it at this point. Actually allow this one, then SB Game Hacker might actually be for you, because GameGuardian, it can really be a little bit overwhelming, especially now. You see, I'm trying to start up GameGuardian. I have to give a lot of permissions to actually use my device and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it can be very overwhelming, as you can see right here. And again, so if you want to skip all that, then SB Game Hacker might be actually the thing for you. I still use GameGuardian, even though it is quite complicated. There are a lot of difficult options, as you can see right here. Basically, it's cheat engine. You connect to a process, and then you have all of these options, which is it's too much for someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, who is not very advanced. So something like SB Game Hacker might be very useful there. Then, of course, root file explorers. At this point, since I use an emulator, I don't really need one. But what they allow you to do is dig into the system files of your actual device. So you can find save states and all of the extracted files of your game app, and that can, under certain circumstances, allow you to modify save files and cheat that way. Also, this is very useful if you're trying to install modded APKs, as well as you're going to have to replace some OBB files, especially in online games. Very useful to have a root file explorer as well. It's basically just a file explorer that has root permissions or administrator privileges. Then the patcher programs. Of course, you guys are probably familiar with Lucky Patcher. Those are kind of, it's kind of a software that makes a modded APK out of a normal APK by applying certain standard patches. So trying to, for example, circumvent online purchases to make online purchases free, or patching out ads by blocking the ad code. That's the kind of thing that Lucky Patcher can do. It's a very hit and miss kind of software, as are all the similar ones, the other patchers. Not highly recommended, but if it's an old game and if it's not always online, you might want to give this one a try. Cheat Engine APK, again, Cheat Engine, the best cheating software on Windows PC. The APK version is not quite on the level yet of the PC version, but we are still hoping that they will get there one day. They certainly have the potential to deliver one of the best cheating softwares out there. So then we have, of course, modding tools for decompiling and modding APKs, also very powerful, allowing you to modify the APK yourself. However, you will need some very advanced programming knowledge if you want to do anything more than just simply change a name or change a version of the actual app. If you want to actually get into the functionalities and implement aimbots or hacks into the app, that will be much more difficult, and you might have to really brush up on your learning of, let's say, computer science and programming and reverse engineering, and basically get a PhD or a doctorate first. So not very feasible for most of us. Let's say normal people, Joe Schmo, Joe Sixpack on the street is probably not going to be able to do that. Even me, I can change a name of an app or something, but APK modding tools still extremely powerful, because the people that can use them, they use them to great effect. And of course, APK mods are some of the most popular cheats available on Android when it comes to gaming by far. Freedom APK, another patcher, meh. I would say Kreehack, same thing, patcher, meh. Game Killer, an older kind of cheat engine, GameGuardian, SB Game Hacker like app, also not bad. It's number 13 on this list, and I completely agree with the placement. Game CAH, another cheat engine, memory editor, very old. If you have, for some reason, an old phone or an old emulator, this one might actually work, whereas newer programs, newer apps might not work anymore and not be reverse compatible. Xmod Games, another patcher again. And of course, as always, screw the resource generators, the unlimited everything. It's a pain in my neck, and I think a pain in most people's necks that have ever searched for cheats online. Just the unlimited everything generator. I want unlimited everything, yes. Give me unlimited everything, please. Anyways, so yeah, it's a cancer. What can you do? You can't do much, but yeah, these things exist, and they are... Oh, yes, I give unlimited everything. Oh, and of course they have ads on these videos as well. Great. Awesome. Anyways, so that's all I have to say about that. Those are basically the best tools out there for Android game cheaterinos or Android game jacking. And in 2023, of course, current year, not an old list. This has been updated, and I will keep updating it with the newest and latest cheating software out there. For now, just keep in mind, screw generators, GameGuardian awesome, HackerBot for finding the best bots and mods and all that kind of stuff. Then bots, very, very powerful, underrated, very applicable to most cheating in most grindy games on Android. Emulators, extremely useful. Please check them out. APK mods, find them through HackerBot.net. And all the other ones, root file explorers are extremely useful, but they come with good emulators, so it's already covered in that. So that's basically the top 5, and that is it. That's the most important ones. The other ones are meh, but they exist. So if you want to check them out, do so. Link, as always, in the description to this list, and check out HackerBot.net. We have our tutorial section if you want to learn all the basics. If you don't feel ready yet to take the jump into the game jacking, then go to our wiki and learn using the videos that I have made. And also under software, you'll find the best cheating tools for Android, for iOS, for Windows PC, and all the other stuff. And we have a tutorial section as well, which I'm still working on, but we have awesome tutorials, and there will be videos on those as well. They will show you how to actually use these tools, how to use GameGuardian, how to use Cheat Engine, how to do all the stuffs to check your games and get unlimited of the monies if it's possible. Of course, server-side processing, client-side processing, everything included, all disclaimers and all the at your own risk. Okay, see you guys later and have a nice day. Game Jacker out.